Hello again, it's me again. So this is your syllabus screencast. I'm just going to go over, I'm going to try just to hit the hot points. You do have a syllabus quiz, and that's my way of trying to get you to make sure you read the syllabus. I have a long syllabus, but the reason it's so long is that what you will notice is for every major assignment, there's actually extra information, like a full page or two of details about that assignment that will hopefully answer many of the questions that you would have about the assignment when we get there. So I want to make sure that you see all that and that you go through that. But I'm just going to hit on a few points that I know can tend to be a problem with with particular assignments, things that continually come up. So I'm not going to go through it all. You'll see in the beginning here a lot of stuff you're going to see on every syllabi. I do suggest that you read through it, especially if you need any of this information. It does tell you how to get in touch with me, my name, all of that kind of stuff. Kind of rules for recording classes. Mandatory reporting is new this semester, that instructors are mandatory reporters. So if any information is shared with us about sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, domestic violence, abuse, child abuse, anything like that, we are required and obligated to report it. So that's important to know, especially in a psychology class. Just need you to know that and be aware of it and read through that. We are in the the 9th edition of this book. If you have the 8th edition, which some students do, you'd probably be okay, but I'm not. That's kind of a call you have to make for yourself. Important dates. February 21st is the non-attendance drop date. You must to be considered in attendance. You must complete the first discussion post. That whole assignment, that discussion assignment, by 2:20. You'll see that. Drop date with a refund is also the 21st. Just make sure you know these things, and because you are always the one that has to make the call for what's best for you. Please read this. All papers, do not copy word for word from any source, even if you cite it. You can't use word for word anything. All things must be in your own words. So you sort of imagine if you read information and then 10 minutes later had to explain to someone what you read, how would you explain it? Yes, you might have to go back and fact check it, but how would you explain it in your own words? That's how you must write all things. Paraphrasing it. If you are going to use word for word, they must be in quotes, but that should be very rarely and very little. And all things, what you cite are ideas of somebody else's. You don't cite their words. If any idea you get from somebody else that didn't spring out of your own head, you need to cite. But do not use things word for word under any circumstances. And, short things in quotes. Hint, don't write words you can't define and explain. So, life. I understand that life happens. It can be unpredictable. Things can come up and be challenging. I give you full respect and honor your ability to make the best choices for yourself. Please know that if you have an emergency of some sort, to be in touch with me and let me know. Also know that, I have to balance the being understanding and compassionate towards you and what an emergency might be, but also always being fair to the whole class and all my classes that I have to take into consideration. Email attachments, this is another big one that shows up a lot. Just make sure they're in Word or PDF format. There's too many formats that I can't open. Everything you turn into me needs to be go through a Dropbox. And it's just best if it's in these formats. I'll be able to open it, read it, grade it, because if I can't open it, then I can't grade it. This is all about netiquette. We're online. We're not face to face. And so many of you may have taken many online classes before, and that's fabulous. If you haven't, you still need to be aware of what I consider important, that we need to realize that, so much of how we, communicate with each other in person is via body language, and we don't have body language. So we need to just be wise about our words, and how we write them. They're not in all caps, that we're, even sarcasm that might come off funny in real life may not come off funny when it's written. So we just need to be very aware of that. Things here for discussions posts. disagreement is fine, debate is okay, sparking ideas is okay, but please, discussions are not a platform for any kind of attacking, offending, or general rudeness or unkindness. And I trust that we all know that, but it just has to be said. And I even give sort of outline before discussion, original post, before reply post, kind of an idea of how to do them. Just also keep in mind that if there is an issue that comes up, I will be immediately in touch with both parties. I will ask the offended party if they'd like to if they would like the comment removed, or to respond to it themselves productively and in a constructive way. If the offending party would like the opportunity to rewrite the post, because I know that sometimes things are misunderstood online, or we all have different ways of communicating and they don't always translate the way we mean for them to. So I take that into consideration. But if this seems to be an ongoing pattern with someone, then just know that there's going to be a failing of the discussion component, which is a big component. Also keep in mind, this is we're with this for 12 weeks. This is a 25 chapter class. This is a very dense class in person for 15 weeks. So for 12 weeks, we are even more like condensed and compacted. When I teach this for 10 weeks in person, I meet 4 hours a week. So just keep in mind when you're thinking about how much time this class is going to take, you need to assume if you were coming to a ground class that you would be in class for at least 3 hours a week, at least 3 to 4 hours a week. And that's just to get content and do some activities. So then things that have to be done at home. So this is this class is a commitment because it's very, very content heavy. And I like this class to be meaningful. So just keep that in mind. And this kind of gives you what will be expected in terms of time. These are all the things you will have to do for the class: an introduction discussion, a syllabus quiz, first week reflection questions, final reflection, which will come at the end. 6 online quizzes. You get 3 chances to take them. Hear me, please. 3 chances to take it. Please take all 3 chances. These are an easy way, actually, to just maintain your grade, but you are responsible for knowing when the quizzes are open. You will have to write 2 reflection letters to self, which I'll go over in a second. This Making Connections worksheet, again, I have a whole nother page on you can read about. That'll come with Chapter 7. 2 mini papers on making connections. Those come in chapters 8 through 10 and 11 through 13. Then, so let me go a little bit farther down. Late policy, all folders in the Dropbox will be open for 1 week after due date. You will receive a 10-point deduction for anything turned in after the due date within that week. After that, the folder is closed. Please do not ask to turn it in again. So you have 1 week beyond the due date. That's my late policy. You get 1 week to turn it in beyond the due date. You get 10 points off no matter how late it is. There's some extra credit things here. Please read through them. You might like those. Keep in mind, A work I consider very high quality. It goes the extra mile. It's not just getting it done. That's important. So in my class, as I said in my introduction video, I like this to be about your growth and development. So I am incorporating this online, and I'm going to see how it goes. So we're going to see how it goes. I do a lot of stuff with stress reduction, and I have an entire screencast for you to watch on stress. And you are required in this class to choose a personal practice to do. So you will spend at least 10 minutes 3 times a week in this personal practice activity. There's an entire screencast on what this means. So please don't worry about that until you watch that screencast. So, and I obviously didn't change this. So this is once every other week by Thursday at 4 p.m. These dates, though, show that. So you will have 5 discussions around your personal practice that you have to do. And so, for example, a personal practice is meditation, yoga, deep breathing, something that calms you or helps manage stress. You have to do that for at least 10 minutes 3 times a week. And then every other week you will do a discussion, and I even have here some things you could write about, and it will be on the discussion post within discussions. I will tell you what kind of the questions are that you can consider for that week. Mostly it's going to be, how's it going? What's working? What's not? What's challenging you? How's it working in your life? When I have students really engage in this, I have heard things as strong as, this has changed my life, my relationships are better, my grades are better. So I find this extremely important. The number one reason found for dropping out of school tends to be the stress over balancing the many different aspects of our lives. And so this is a way to help sort of offer tools for that. So read through this very closely and it'll explain it to you. Plus you will have, and you will see, there's a screencast called The Mind of Optimal Living, which is about this, and it will explain this, and your first one isn't due until February 25th. So you'll have watched the screencast and started your practice by then. Here are some personal practice possibilities. So once you've watched the screencast and read this through thoroughly, if you are still confused or have questions, please email me. This Making Connections worksheet will come with Chapter 7. You will watch movie clips and have questions that you have to answer. I'm going to open a discussion group on this so that you can kind of debate around about the questions when we get there. When we get there, you will have everything you need for that. So these letters to self, you don't have tests. You have to write 2 letters to yourself. You will choose one letter must be either from 0 to 2 or the early childhood unit. This is chapters 5 through 7 and 8 through 10. And then one letter must be from either middle childhood, adolescence, or emerging adulthood. You will write a letter to yourself at that stage from the you now, explaining at least 5 key concepts that are in the text that I talk about and you listen to or you read about. 3 to 5 pages. 3 is the minimum length. 2.5 is not 3. Please see that and hear that. Letter is to be written from you taking this class to you at these 2 different stages. See all these little mistakes I'm finding as I go through this? Your number one goal is to make 5 clear connections between your life and the text. And this will show you rules for how to write the letter. I will go into the things I grade on. Do you show me you understand the concept? So if you're in 0 to 2 talking about attachment, do you show me and use terms about attachment that are in the text? And then do you use examples and specific unique details from your own life, not just a general child, from your life, and how you went through or what you know of yourself about that concept. Please see this, highlight the connection main term literally, bold the key term. So if you're talking about attachment, you actually bold the word attachment. I should see 5 of those at least in your paper. I grade each, you have 5 connections to make, 20 points per connection. I would rather you only do 5 and you do them deeply and well than do 20 and don't. You will get a better grade if you do 5 really well. So I hope you hear that and understand that. Now you'll have due dates for all of the units. You're only doing 2, but this is when it's due for that particular unit. You're only doing 2, okay? Here's an example of what I mean of how to do it. So please read that. Mini connection papers, early childhood case study. You will have 3 choices. You only do 1. This is during middle childhood morality. You will do this 1. Again, it's making connections between your life and the information, the world around you, or you personally. You will have weekly discussions. This is the primary way you interact with your classmates. This is on content. A lot of times with me, it's going to, again, be about making connections and your own thinking, critical thinking. And you can, see you'll have to do 2 reply posts. This is when the last post is due. If you look up here, you see an extra credit point if you post on 3 different days so that you're engaging in the conversation more. Please read through that carefully. If you don't understand something, email me. Here you have all of your, what week it is, the topic, what you need to read for that week, what you need to make sure you get done for that week. So it should all be in there. And then you'll also have all of these weekly discussions. Somehow this did not get corrected. I will make sure this is corrected. I apologize, but I'm not going to redo this whole screencast. But these will all be in your syllabus, your discussions, your discussion due dates, your quiz, when they're open, and all of these are online learning course policies. So anything that you are confused about with online learning specifically, please, you can look through these policies. Again, please read it. Do your syllabus quiz, and it will help you to make sure that you're reading all the stuff that is considered important. It's all important. So, but you hear it has so many answers for you. I will correct anything that was wrong. Don't worry. I'm doing this before the class opens. So just make sure that you read this thoroughly. And if you have any questions, let me know. Take care.